Assalamualaikum and hi, we are from Group 6 JSC2206G will present movie review emergency declaration.
Hi, Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is CRG650 binti Hasim.
My name is Nur Aida Sofia binti Samad.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Shazamda binti Asruddin.
My name is Nurul Ainaida binti Hamran.
My name is Yasmin Fazrina binti Muhammad.
Movie synopsis. Korean authorities find out that a suspect has recently boarded a flight headed for the United States while they are looking into an online tourist trade. Panic breaks out both underground and in flight when a healthy passenger on the same plane passed away unexpectedly. As the food runs out and help from the other countries is increasingly withheld, the captain and crew must act in unprecedented emergency to save everyone on board. I will pass to the next presenter.
Thank you for the previous presenter, Ain Aida. Before I start my part, I will introduce myself. My name is Yasmin Fazrina. I will continue this presentation with two main stakeholders with their stake in this movie. For the first main stakeholder is Pak Jae-hyuk. He is one of the passengers and want to fly to Hawaii with his daughter. He used to be an Alpha grade pilot before encountering an emergency incident that took life of two stewardesses. During his flight to Hawaii, he and his daughter become one of the victims of a biological terror attack when the plane has been contaminated with virus when the plane was in the air. Since the virus taken the life both of the captain and subordinates, Pak Jae-hyuk need to take over the task. So in this movie, Pak Jae-hyuk's stakes are to protect his daughter and keep her safe from the virus. And he also protect the passenger and try to land the plane safely. For the second main stakeholder is Go In-ho. Go In-ho is a police detective and who was in charge to solving this terror attack. He found a dead body wrapped in a plastic bag. And when he realized that his wife went on the vacation with her friends and also the same plane with the Ryu Ji-soo. Ryu Ji-soo is who was the man behind the murder case. So as a detective and also her husband, he took a fast action to save his wife and also all the passengers. So Go In-ho's stakes are make sure his wife safely land in Korea and he tried to find antivirus to cure the infected passenger including his wife.
Moving on to the ethical dilemma of the villain, Im Si-won, who plays a role as the villain named Ryu Jin-soo, is the son of the famous biological person who works at a global health company. He looks unhinged and determined to board on any plane and accomplish his mission to spread the virus, although he already knows the consequences of his action. Also, Ryu Jin-soo looks pressured to explain the motive of his action when he was caught with the pilot, as he shouted, "Do you think I wanted to do this?" Hence, this explains he was facing dilemma on whether he should continue spreading the virus or abandon his harmful plan. However, he was affected and eventually died due to the virus. So, to know which decision was ethically right for Ryu Jin-soo, let's look at both advantages and disadvantages of his dilemma. If he decided to spread the virus, the feeling of satisfaction he will get from spreading the virus as his mission succeeds. Also, individuals and organizations involved would learn lessons and not take anything for granted in the future. However, the situations will become chaotic as it threatens the safety of the passengers and create fear to them. Not only that, a virus may cause death with them once they are affected. Hence, the advantages if he decided not to spread the virus can be avoided and everyone will be safe to come back home. But the disadvantages, Ryu Jin-soo will feel irritated and try to continue his plan, spreading the virus online. Yet his mission will keep going on in the future. So that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Moving on to the next part, which is ethical dilemma of the hero, whether he should land the plane or not. In this movie, Pak Jae-hyuk is one of the main hero characters. He overcomes his phobia of getting on a plane and went to Hawaii with his daughter. Despite his anxiety and fear, he also has a noble spirit and is willing to make sacrifice for his family and for others. As a former pilot, he felt responsible for determining whether to save the lives of the tourists or risk their lives because of the virus. What are the impacts of landing the plane? The advantages are they can save victims from plane crash and to get faster treatment. This will help more passengers to be safe as medical attention for affected individuals upon landing to minimizing further spread. Disadvantage of landing the plane will cause the virus to spread more to other people. Park Jae-hyuk will be getting blamed, face legal consequence and liable for his action since it will lead to outbreaks, increased transmission and more challenges to public health management. Meanwhile, what are the impacts of not landing the plane? There are advantages of doing it. It is to prevent potential for the virus from spreading to new locations and help contain the threat. Meanwhile, the disadvantage of not landing the plane are it will risk the health of people in the plane, leading to more severe consequences. More than that, the possibility of the plane to crash due to running out of fuel will cause no survivors to survive from the terror attack. Not only that, victim families may express frustration, anger and disappointment towards the government failures in fulfilling their responsibility to save the victim lives.
Next, I will continue with action taken by the villain from a consequentialist point of view. First of all, consequentialist is an ethical theory that judges whether or not something is right by what its consequences are. In simple words, if the consequences are good, so it is the right thing to do, and that's vice versa. For example, most people will agree that lying is wrong, but if telling a lie would help save a person's life, consequentialism theory says it is the right thing to do. Okay, for the first action taken from this movie for villain, which is Ryu Jin-soo, he used his innocent face to persuade his friend to give him a sample of the virus to clear his name, as he was unfairly accused for spreading the virus internationally. A few years ago, Ryu Jin-soo's previous company received a mutant virus from the Middle East that called SC1, that a very dangerous virus and highly infectious. Only one survivor survives during the research is going, and the survivor admitted by saying that Ryu Jin, who is the one researcher, internationally exposed the mutant virus to people. Ryu Jin-soo said that he was unfairly accused and want to get rehired because there is no evidence at all about the incident happened. Therefore, he begging and used his innocent face to ask his friend that still worked at his last company to give him the mutant virus sample. His friend felt sorry that what had happened to him and decided to give what he wants. Unfortunately, his friend was being investigated by the police because the police thought he and Ryu Jin-soo is in compliance. What I can conclude from the Blue House action based on consequentialist theory is his action is unethical and wrong. This is because his friend was being accused as an accomplice even though he is innocent. Next, Ryu Jin-soo started a biochemical attack on the airplane by trying to spread the unknown virus that has no antivirus or cure. This is because he got grudges with his last company that fired him. The result from his action, one by one passengers on the plane started to feel sick. Ryu Jin-soo's action negatively impact the health and well-being of the passenger on the plane, and some of innocent passengers will die. As we can see here, the villain action has led to bad consequences, and therefore, what can I conclude from this scene is Ryu Jin-soo, who is made a biochemical attack, is wrong and unethical because as many was die with his irresponsible action. Move on to the next, I will proceed about action taken by the hero from deontology point of view. But first, deontology is the normative ethical theory that the morality of action should be based on whether the action itself is right or wrong under a series of rules and principles, rather than based on the consequences of the action. In simple words, deontology is an ethical theory that uses rules to distinguish right from wrong. And first action taken by the hero, which is Park Jae-hyuk from this movie, is he notified the flight attendant to reject Regent So since he seemed suspicious from the start, and possibly he might plan to do a terror attack by looking at him brought in prohibited item before boarding. From the ontology point of view, we can see that Park Jae-hyuk's action is ethical and right since he has responsibility to do the report in order to save every passengers in the plane from the terror attack. And next is there is one scene shows that Park Jae-hyuk, a former pilot, made a decision to take a control over the plane after all the pilot got the virus infection. Even his pilot license is revoked, and he got some traumatized with airplane after an accident in the past. But in order to save everyone in this plane, he overcome his traumas with continue to fly the airplane and safely made a great decision in control the aircraft. But from the deontology perspective, his action to take control the plane to save people in this situation where his license was revoked is wrong and unethical because he does not qualify to fly the plane when his license was revoked, as the rules and regulations says it so that he need to follow it, even though save people was the good action. And that's all from me. Moving on to the next presenter.
Treating others is how you would like to be treated. To choose for others what they would choose for themselves. Golden rule is often described as putting yourself in someone's shoes. In this movie, what ethical action I will do if I put myself in a villain's shoes? As we know, Jin-soo is the villain who known as a psychopath that worked as a microbiologist. He has a bad childhood memory that led to stress. When he grew up, he wanted to revenge for his rage. As a microbiologist instead of society and humanity, with knowledge that I have, I will use my information and knowledge to improve the community and being known. Next, I will accept any punishment if I am proven guilty. If I were a villain and thought back on what I had been doing at the time, I would feel guilty for the rest of my life for killing innocent people.
Thank you, Yasmin. In conclusion, there are many unexpected turns in the story that include a virus-related terrorist attack, dishonest pharmaceutical companies, terrorist associates, and an overly sentimental sequence of events involving vaccines. Finally, the plane's occupants are free to depart the airport and make their way to their final destination. But many people have lost their loved ones. Lessons learned. First, being selfless. Passengers assist crew members in attending to sick passengers and prioritizing oxygen tanks. Despite crew shorthand, separating affected and non-affected passengers in different areas. Next, responsible to their jobs. The head crew, Hee-jin, ensure her colleagues to remain calm and act diligently as all the passengers would learn to them for help. Lastly, unity of the country. When the official in Ho has sacrificed himself as a test subject of the vaccine works, the nation come together and try so hard to contact the people from the flight to ask them to land the flight. That's all from us. Thank you for watching.